Hey y'all, it's your boy Boba Bricks here again, and today I wanted to make a video about my first ever Lego Star Wars magazine, right? I was very fortunate to get to the store and picked up the last copy that was there. This is way back, way back when they just came out in, if you look at the date over here, 29th of July to the 25th, 2015, August, right? Back then, the magazine was three pounds. If you look here, £3.75. In euro money, that would be £4.25 or so back then, maybe 4.50. But again, I was really fortunate to get this. At that point, the first one when they made it, they did not put it in a plastic wrapper like this one, right? But later on, they started doing that for a while, and then they stopped again because people were, as you say in English, nicking the bags. There's a lot of different things with this magazine to the improvements they made lately. So always, not always, but a lot of the times they'd have where you can win something on here, because if you look, you can see you can win that here, right? As it says. There's a poster inside plus the comic, right? Lord Vader on there, CP3O is on there, Star Destroyer, right? It's on there. And that's when just about when Rebels was starting to come around, right? So if you notice, everyone's on here, Ezra and everyone else. And the poly bag was still in plastic, right? Because they changed over later on. If I can look around here and find a bag, and I can show you right here. This one is made of paper, right? And this one is made of plastic. It was still like the original poly bags that we get when we buy in the store or whatever. Anyway, the gift was, as it says, X-Wing Starfighter, one of the famous ships, as you guys know. One of the things that they also do now that they didn't do back then, again, look, they stopped putting inside of the bag that instructions, like they do the instruction manual. They would make it right on the back of the magazine itself. Now the magazine, they even put it on the inside, but this one they put it just directly here, so you build it off the back of the magazine. You don't even have to go inside of the magazine to do it, right? So again, yeah, this is the first one, man. My piece of resistance, as you would say in French. This is the really good magazine. Let's have a look and see what it has inside. It says here, the first Lego Star Wars magazine ever, right? Let's have a look and see what it has. Right, so over here, as you can see, the Imperial ship, right, was coming out at that point, and you would get these 5 figures with it, okay? Another look at the X-Wing here, how to build it, and a whole page about the Rebels. Right, you got Sabine Wren, Ezra, you got Kanan, Seb, Hera over here, and C-110, okay, Chopper, right? And a lot of comics here, a lot of comic book work here. If you look, Ezra doing his thing as he does. Being the little sneaky guy that he is, getting around the clones there. This is part of the first movie. If you remember when he was stealing the fruit, and then they started attacking the clones and whatnot. Also, they had the Millennium Falcon that was gonna come out, and they're showing the fake one here and the original, do you think you can spot what's wrong with the fake one as opposed to the original? Right? I can just draw your eyes to one of the things. So if you notice here, cockpit, gun pit, right? That's one of the things. But can you spot if you took a photo and see if you can see the difference, right? Moving along here, more of Ezra in the marketplace, doing what he does. And when the Walker came over and tried to get him, you know, even more of it. He's hanging out with Zeb on page 13. And the Ghost, the Phantom, right? 2 pieces of it. It's telling you the full length, the size of the ship, how fast it goes, and stuff like that. And in this magazine, you'd find like puzzles and whatever. Again, what they did later on, if you look back here, you can see this is a pullout, right? They stopped making, I spoke about it in another video, they stopped making pullouts after this first one. They had stopped making pullouts where both sides had a print on it. Because if you, basically you can see it's Yoda there, right? And here it's Kanan right here, right? But they had stopped doing that. As if you look at one of my other videos, you'll see that, right? And I explain why and whatnot. Over here, you see Darth Maul. It's the color in. Right. And if you look over here, there's the first magazine. Right. First magazine in shops. It's when they had other magazines there. I don't really pay attention to those because they don't have any, they don't give you any free stuff. Like a poly bag or a collector card or whatever. I'll talk about that more. I have collector cards on magazines, which they give out in, again, they give out like in Luxembourg, and sometimes on special editions, they give it out in the UK, like Wales and Scotland and whatnot. Anyway, let's continue with the mag here. They jumped out of there with Ezra. And again, in these magazines, they used to do two sets of mags, right? They'd give you the first part of this was Ezra and the market and whatever. And then over here, if you look, they switched it up and was all about Leia, CP3O, and R2D2 when she was going to pass the secrets, right? If you look here, right, more with Vader with his sword, his lightsaber, if you would, getting all messed up. Anyway, so this is when they dumped them off. And here's a little clip of Yoda. All right, these are the different figures. You got the Santa, right? The clone, episode 1 to 3, and episode 4 to 6. If you look there, you can see that. 4 to 6, 1 to 3. If you look, you can see his printing is totally different. And Clone Wars, again, different. And Advent Calendar, again, different. And there's a signature there, which makes this magazine even worth more. There's a signature there. The book always runs up to, as you see in there, it's page 31. So all the way up between 29 and 30. And here's what you can win. See, so if you fill this out online, you had a chance to win one of these prizes. Okay. Here we go. If you look over here, these are books, puzzle mazes, different activity books you can buy. Again, I don't collect those stuff because They really have nothing in there to offer for me. I get most of it out of these magazines anyway. And on the magazine, in the back, they always show you what was coming up the next month. And if you look here, it's that same boba ship that you found in the advent calendar. If you remember, it's 2011, the first advent calendar. It's that boba ship there. Okay, R2-D2, and obviously the X-Wing. And on this side, we have Obi. All right. And on the back, we have the Lord, Dark Lord, Vader. Okay. And this is, again, my first ever, the first ever Star Wars magazine with minifigure. Okay. This is Boba Bricks out.